where UUA congregations are located. It's okay, I can come back on and do this again. During the Labor Day holiday season, the Labor in the Pulpit program places union leaders as guest speakers in faith congregations to talk about the relationship between faith and labor. It's a way for labor to claim the Labor Day holiday and to connect with the faith community. The goal is to create ongoing relationships. These aren't to be one-offs. For the faith community, intentional follow-up with labor after the presentation through our Central Labor Council is a way to build ongoing relationships between faith and labor that go beyond the local congregation. So labor in the pulpit is not the end, but a beginning for developing the relationship between faith and labor in a local community. It can serve as a catalyst and offers opportunities for UUA congregations to form closer and ongoing relationships with labor. The program is also available year-round. And I will go through an abbreviated webinar presented to AFL-CIO, state federations, central labor councils, and area labor federations about the Labor in the Pulpit program. But I'll begin with an AFL-CIO 101 so that you will know the structure of the AFL-CIO on the state and local level to understand how the program is initiated and organized in your local areas. So the Labor Day holiday season provides a unique opportunity for the faith community and organized labor to rediscover their common bonds. The AFL-CIO is a federation of 63 national and international labor unions in the United States, representing nearly 15 million working people. It was formed in 1955 through the merger of the American Federation of Labor and the Congress of Industrial Organizations. I just want to say that in 1955, when the AFL and the CIO merged, the Office of Director of Religious Relations was established because the CIO had such a person. And when the merger occurred, persons at the CIO headquarters in Detroit were offered jobs at the new organization. So my position in 1963, from 55 to 63, the position when the person that held the position retired, his duties were spread throughout the organization. And so they reestablished this position in 1987, and then defunded it in 2001, and then reestablished it again in 2021. So that's the story of my position. And the AFL-CIO, it's a democratic, voluntary federation, meaning its member unions are autonomous, but come together to advocate for workers' rights and fight for social and economic justice. So diverse coalitions of the 63 international national unions on the local level make up the AFL-CIO state federations and local central labor councils. And these community organizations are the heart of the labor movement. They champion better policies for working families and state governments and local communities. So it's important for the UUA to connect with them in their local areas, since this is where AFL-CIO unions in your area meet monthly, develop programs, and advocate for fairness and equity in their local communities. So this is an AFL-CIO 101. So are your slides up? Okay, next.
Is that the one you want?
That's it. AFL-CIO 101. Next.
Okay.
These are who we are in terms of the AFL-CIO affiliated unions. The 63 symbols are there. And next. And I've got a link here. I don't know if you have the capacity to open it, that have the 63 unions listed. And I'll be happy to send this out to people. Okay. So our mission, according to our Constitution, is the American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations is an expression of the hopes and aspirations of the working people of America. Next, we resolve to fulfill the yearnings of the human spirit for liberty, justice, and community, to advance individual and associational freedom, to vanquish oppression, privation, and cruelty in all their forms, and to join with all persons of whatever nationality or faith who cherish the cause of democracy and the call of solidarity to grace the planet with these achievements. Again, this is the preamble of the AFL-CIO Constitution. And so the structures of the affiliated unions and the AFL-CIO are different but the same. The two main structures are the national unions, like the AFSCME, the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, the steel workers, USW, CWA, etc. But the structure of the AFL-CIO is it's not a union, it's a federation of unions, and it has its presence on the national, state, and local level. So they're two different structures. The affiliated unions versus the national union. You just keep moving me along, Terry. Next. He's moving, man. Go ahead. Next.
Oh, you're ready for another one.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Well, you're moving us along here. So the AFL-CIO leadership structure. So the officers consist of President Liz Shuler is the president, and the first woman president of the AFL-CIO, and Secretary Treasurer Fred Redmond. Who's the first African American to serve in that position. And there's 55 vice presidents from the various unions that constitute the executive council. Okay, next. So our leaders are elected at our conventions every 4 years, and our convention adopts resolutions that guide the labor movement and improve the lives of working people. Next. So our governing agenda is transformational organizing. We're looking to organize workers, building an equitable economy through good union jobs, centering workers in a clean energy and tech-driven future, mobilizing for democracy, including racial justice and voting rights. Okay, next. So let's take a closer look. At our state federation structure, central labor councils, and local unions. Okay, next. So the AFL-CIO state federations are in every state and one in Puerto Rico. And they set state legislative agenda, run statewide programs through their central labor council structures. The state federations run a variety of programs, including new organizing, community engagement, and mobilization. They have a constitution, elected officers, an executive board, have a convention, and have delegates. Okay, next. So our AFL-CIO central labor councils and area labor federations. They work closely with the local affiliate unions to support the efforts of those affiliates and to unify their actions across sector boundaries, from steel to from manufacturing to the various trades, et cetera. We're looking to bring them all together on particular agendas. Now, it says here we currently have 450 central labor councils and area labor federations, and also including Panama, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. They run on the local level programs in political, legislative, organizing, mobilization, and community engagement. And each one has a constitution, elected officers, an executive board, and a delegate body. Okay, next. So our AFL-CIO affiliated unions. Now, not all unions, national unions, are affiliated with the AFL-CIO, but all of our affiliated local unions, are generally members of the Central Labor Council. And they have their own structures, their own jurisdictions, their own membership, but they're affiliated with the AFL-CIO. Okay, next. So you can see that our AFL-CIO universe, so to speak, starts with union members, the local who are members of local unions, and those local unions are members of national or international unions. Well, the difference between a national and an international union is the international union has members in Canada or in Mexico. And then they are members of the AFL-CIO. And the local unions are members of the AFL-CIO state federations and the AFL-CIO Central Labor Councils. And as you can see from these little money dollar symbols here, union members pay dues. And those dues go up the line to support the national unions, the state federations, and the AFL-CIO Central Labor Councils. They're also the basis for mobilization activity. Okay, any questions? Okay, next. Could you bring up our Labor in the Pulpit program?
Right. Let's see.
Okay, Cindy. There's Cindy.
Yeah. So, how is the AFL-CIO dealing with with our new executive branch? What are the impacts on the unions, and what can you tell us about that?
Well, I think at the end of this, we can have that discussion.
Okay,
right now,
right.
we're focused. I'm trying to focus you on the structure of the AFL-CIO so that you
sure.
understand
Sorry.
it, because I assume the UUJEC is interested in Labor Day and having speakers in their congregations. And what I'm attempting to present is that there's a structure, and that just having a speaker without having some kind of follow-up, without having some kind of ongoing relationship with the Central Labor Council in the area makes those presentations nothing more than, well, it's a one-off. You're not building.
Well, thank you for that explanation.
You're not building these relationships on the ground, which is critical, for fight back and for the growth of unions. So our Labor in the Pulpit, we call it Labor in the Pulpit, Bema and Membar. This next, because we also speak in synagogues and masjids. So a minbar is masjid, a minbar is a pulpit and a masjid. I use masjid versus mosque because masjid is the Arabic for a colonialist representation of that faith group's house of worship. And of course, a bima is a pulpit in a synagogue. So this is a webinar, which is it's abbreviated, and it's what we use to train our AFL-CIO, Central Labor Councils, and state federations about the program. Okay, next. And again, this is an abbreviated version of this presentation.
Okay.
These are just some examples. Terry, go back.
Okay.
I just watch. These are some of our speakers. One in a synagogue, the other in a masjid, and then of course in a Christian congregation. So okay. Next. So these actually do happen. So our AFL-CIO Labor Day weekend, Labor in the Pulpit, BEMA Minbar program, it extends during the Labor Day weekend, August 29th to September 1st, then the weekend before, and then the weekend after. And we're look at the weekend after because there's a lot of activities that go on in the Central Labor Councils. So oftentimes it's easier for them, to do a September 7th presentation in a congregation. Okay, next. So what is labor in the pulpit? So labor in faith organizations, as you know, have a long history of shared relationships. Now, I'm giving this presentation to our Central Labor Councils, our state federations, so they may not have your same knowledge base about the fact that these faith groups, have a long history of support for labor. And so the Labor in the Pulpit program places union speakers in. You're right. I've got Christian congregations, but the UUA, of course, I've struggled with, how to fit you all into this, understanding that you're not a Christian congregation, but this is what you do use pulpits, so as a terminology. So, and so our speakers speak to the common bond between faith and labor, and of course raise up issues of concern. Okay, next. Why do we do labor in the pulpit? Explaining it to our Central Labor Councils and AFL-CIO state federations, because many of our union members have a faith commitment. And labor in the pulpit, it highlights the relationship between the union faith and work. The Labor in the Pulpit program, it affirms the values shared by many religious communities, and labor, as well as the opportunity to uplift the concerns of labor. Okay, next. Faith groups and labor unions, they're vital parts of the community. So we share many of the same concerns based on our values. So we should get to know each other. The AFL-CIO Labor in the Pulpit program is a long-term plan to enable our state federations, our Central Labor Councils, to develop relationships in their jurisdictions. Because of each labor council has a jurisdiction of counties that it represents. Now, the one that I was talking to Terry about, where Story County is located, it represents 27 counties and their particular structure. Okay, next. And of course, building relationships with the faith community is critical at this time, getting back to Cindy's concern. When labor's very existence is under threat and our democracy hangs in the balance as authoritarian forces are looking to destroy the safety net for the most vulnerable and all that faith and labor have built over the years. Like Carol, there was a chat in the chat 1900, so it goes back to 1900. Your support. Okay, next. So the history of the AFL-CIO labor in the pulpit program. Well, in the late 19, there's always been speakers, labor speakers in congregations from the 1890s on, right? When unions were developing. But in the late 1990s, the National Interfaith Committee for Worker Justice, which became Interfaith Worker Justice, and the AFL-CIO partnered to begin labor in the pulpit for union members to speak out for worker justice in congregations during the Labor Day weekend. And it was part of something called the Union Cities program at that time, where we were attempting to form relationships in our central labor councils that would be ongoing. But many, this, I don't know if you can click on this particular URL, but it has a copy of Labor in the Pulpit resource guide that was used in 1997. And so many of our federated bodies participated in the program in the past, and some have ongoing programs each year. But in 2021, the AFL-CIO relaunched the program and to re-engage our we call the Central Labor Councils and state federations federated bodies, our federated bodies, to get the language of the AFL-CIO structure. And so we're looking to get our federated bodies connected to the faith community and to broaden our relationships. Okay, next. And we reinforce the fact that the social teachings and sacred traditions of many faith groups support the right of working people to organize. And you've got another compilation of faith group statements in that URL. Okay, next. So this is an overview of the Labor in the Pulpit program. Next. So you got to get started. And next. So without our federated bodies, we don't have a Labor in the Pulpit program. There's no program, because our program, our Labor in the Pulpit program, the AFL-CIO's Labor in the Pulpit program is based in our federated bodies. And each one has to make a decision about how they're going to participate in the program and decide how many speakers they can place in a congregation, but make a commitment to continuing the program the following year, because you just can't start a program and then stop it. And so we're looking for consistency. Okay, next. We identify congregations that we could invite to participate in the program. And we do this, we identify these congregations in many ways. Of course, we first begin on the local level with our AFL-CIO delegates to the Central Labor Council and with their affiliated unions. But next, we also identify denominations that support the right to organize. And it's those that we are particularly interested in approaching, because we know that at least they have positions in support of labor. And these are some of the faith groups that we, find are friendly to us and support our programs, support the rights of workers to organize. And of course, we have lists of these denominational support statements that we provide our central labor councils. Okay, next. this is the most recent Unitarian Universalist Association position that I have been able to find on support for the right to organize and bargain collectively. I raise this up to you because you, as the UUJEC, which are a caucus of sorts within the UUA, need to understand that we need an updated statement that is more specific to what's going on in our economy and the importance of unions and the rights of workers to engage in collective bargaining. And though at various times, updated statement from UUA, you got one?
No, not that I know of, but
Right.
we'll get Bob.
I do know that the PRO Act was supported in one of the statements that was adopted back in 2021, 2020, 23, 20.
We did have the escalating inequality statement of conscience in, what was that, 2014 or so?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
but what
Which
you
is
don't have
later than
is
1997, but
is a statement that focuses specifically on this issue. For instance, if you take a look, and I can send around, what others, faith groups have done, issuing statements in support of labor, you'll see that they're more, they're deeper in their, in how they express their support. And I think it's very important because the UUA is a go-to organization in our local communities where our central labor councils are located. And for that, we're very thankful. Okay, next.
well, it's probably not too early to start working on it. So if you've got statements, we'd like to see them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we invite congregations to participate. Next. We recruit speakers to, give these presentations. We help them prepare labor into pulpit presentations. Next. Then follow up is critical to us. We look to send our faith leaders of participating congregations a thank you. We are looking to meet with them after the presentation's made. And we're in the process of developing how that follow-up will happen. We're a work in progress, so to speak, on the Central Labor Council level. Because don't forget, we reinitiated this program in 2021. And, we're into our 4th year of it. And, how we continue to move the program is again, it's a work in progress. Okay, next. So I have a sample thank you letter. We acknowledge speakers. We look to meet with the faith leaders of the participating congregations. But we're looking at a faith labor table, some kind of a follow-up that includes more members of denominational groups in the jurisdiction of the Central Labor Council. Okay, your understanding is jurisdiction, Central Labor Council, etc. These are all AFL-CIO words. Okay, next. So these are some of our resources. Next. We've got a labor in the pulpit guide. We've got what faith groups say about worker justice. We got a Catholic parish toolkit, a Protestant congregation toolkit, a labor on the BEMA toolkit, and a labor in the Minbar toolkit. Okay, next. Now, I'm going to uplift a sample presentation next. This is me giving a labor in the pulpit presentation at my local congregation in Washington, D.C. And so this would be, if we could click, can you open this, Terry, by chance?
This?
Yeah.
Maybe not from there, but just a second. Let me try something. Oh, that isn't
Well,
doing
if
it.
not, that's okay, because we're at
Okay.
8:37. We want to leave time for questions. Cindy had a question, and I'd give
Okay.
other people's comments. So in closing, next, you're getting close.
Well, I'm trying to. It's oh,
Oh, you
oh,
got it. You
okay.
got it. You got it.
Yeah, accidentally.
Good, good, good.
Okay.
Yeah. You tell me I got to learn how to do this. So
Okay. Next one.
see, we help identify faith leaders in their jurisdiction. We help with follow up. We assist with connecting with faith-based organizations and we assist with outreach to the Jewish and Muslim community. Okay, next. This is our Secretary Treasurer, Fred Redmond. Next, and I'll quote from him. I encourage our state federations and central labor councils to partner with faith organizations at the community level, work with them to get involved with our Labor in the Pulpit program this Labor Day weekend, and would help us reconnect with the faith community and with more members of our communities in our state, cities, and towns. Okay, next. This is my contact information. Next. So next step for UUA faith leaders. Next, UUA faith leaders can invite a Central Labor Council to make a Labor in the Pulpit presentation to their congregation. That is, it's a lot easier when the faith community outreaches to labor than requiring labor to outreach to the faith community, say. And we understand that labor has to be responsible for its outreach to the faith community because we cannot depend on the faith community to outreach to us. And then, secondly, we understand that we need to have relationships with the faith community that are dependent on us. So, getting faith congregations to do invitations for speakers to our central labor councils is a really good way to connect with us. And that's our Labor in the Pulpit program that I wanted to present to you tonight so that you would understand when we're looking for congregations for speakers that this is part of how our central labor councils are outreaching to the community.
Sally had a really good question. Do we do that through you, or how do we find our local folks?
Sally's question is very good, and because and then if you can do it through me, that's the easiest way. Because what I'm finding, just in Iowa as a good example, is there were a lot of central labor councils that they merged into area labor federations. So the area labor federation has a number of chapters which were standalone central labor councils at one point, but now they're part of these area labor federations. But they still maintain their central labor council designation, but they're considered a chapter. And I was surprised to see just what that structure looked like in Iowa, because there's just so many of them that have been merged into these area labor federations. So that, Sally, that would be the way. Me as a clearinghouse, and that's
Okay.
why I'm here.
Well, and if we can't find it by Googling it, by all means, I have Michael's contact information. I will forward it to you.
But that should not be, if you Google and can't find it, then that's the struggle and that's the issue. And in that case, I would suggest calling the state federation in your state, the AFL-CIO state, the state AFL-CIO, because they would certainly have that information.
Well, my experience is if you hang out with Democrats, somebody's going to know how to find them. Because
And
we
they're
have,
good.
yeah.
And political leaders, are, Democrats at least, have connections in the faith community. And, for us, they're another source, a potential source of contacts in the faith community. But do you understand what we're trying to do here in terms of, look, this interfaith worker justice existed for 25 years. When it no longer existed, which was 2022, any of those where did those relationships on the ground go that might have been developed over those 25 years? They need to be somewhere. And that's where the Central Labor Council comes in, because it's going to be around. And I believe the UUA is going to be around. So, it's important to have that kind of ongoing relationship.
Well, do we have other questions?
Well, Cindy wants to know what we're doing to push back at the Trump administration for its anti-person, anti-union, policies, etc. Look, Cindy, we're active through our central labor councils at town hall meetings. We've just had a bus tour. What's very useful is if you go to AFL-CIO.org, if you're looking to see how the AFL-CIO is moving, the agenda to push back, at Trump policies that are hurting all of us. And we're definitely got active campaigns to secure Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all of those programs. We have,
Thank you.
mobilizations that are occurring. Los Angeles, our AFL-CIO Central Labor Council is deeply involved, in pushing back against Trump's anti-immigrant policies. As a matter of fact, one of our Service Employee International leaders was arrested by ICE. And so, like I say, there's a very active program in place. And now there was are you organizing with any student, millennial, and Gen Z labor-oriented groups like DSA and what was the other one? PSL?
Yeah, PSL. I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know.
PSL is Party of Socialism and Liberation, and DSA is Democratic Socialists.
Right.
Yeah, we got that one. That's for sure.
Thank you, Taha.
Yeah, we've had the DSA's been around quite a while, so but PSL, that's a new one on me. So I'm learning. I if union members are part, or if we're organizing workers and they're part of those organizations, then yeah, that for sure is the case. And we're always looking for support. The unions are looking for support from these organizations. So I can't give you concrete examples of how, what in particular, but I know for a fact that DSA is very active in campaigns. So
Actually, we have a new board member who is a Democratic Socialist, and he's organizing UUs for Democratic Socialism. And so we're very supportive of that. I think I can say that for the whole board, but individuals might have nuances to go with that.
well, I can tell you we're uh, supporting the DSA candidate in New York City for mayor.
Mhm.
So Taha, if that's some example of
Mhm.
you know union support, for DSA, there you go. So that's a big one.
Yeah. Carol? I saw Carol's hand
Okay,
up.
I am unmuted. I'm a CWA retiree from state government workers in New Jersey.
Oh,
And
really?
one of the things is you're talking about labor in the pulpit and having people come to churches. One of the things that I've been in is the group for we have in New Jersey have the Industrial Union Council,
Yeah, the
which
IUC. Right.
IUC formed a group about 25 years ago, which is called the Solidarity Singers. And the Solidarity Singers sings all kinds of political stuff, but solidarity singers are always welcome in churches because they're very spirited and the songs are are well-meaning. Pete Seeger and Solidarity Forever, and I'll just tell one that 2 days ago for Hiroshima Nagasaki observance we sang a song partly in Japanese, which is an apology to the Japanese people for dropping the bombs on them. So I'm just bringing this up because as you talk about religion in the pulpit, I just think, what religion loves music. And so music groups could be a way of having union members and others participate in singing in pulpits as well as other places.
But I'll ask you a question. So, do you live in New Jersey?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, where?
My town is Princeton, New Jersey.
So, is there a UUA congregation there that would
Oh
want
sure. Oh
a
yeah,
labor and the pulpit speaker?
I've been a member since 1960.
Yeah, but hear me out. Did
Actually,
you hear my question? Is there a UUA congregation in New Jersey that would want a labor in the pulpit speaker?
Oh, I think I could probably find 10 or 12 that would love it.
Well, finding one or two would be a good start. Get this woman's
we already have our
no,
speaker for the Issues Conference in October at the Princeton UU Society, but that could the singers show up there? Wouldn't that be cool?
If they'd be in, yeah, just ask them.
So we have two people from New Jersey.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also you have another one on the board. From
Oh,
Southern
yeah.
yeah, because
New
I
Jersey.
need,
Kids.
we're looking for some, congregations in New Jersey that would sponsor a labor in the pulpit speaker.
Well,
Yeah.
and we know
I was assuming that this meeting tonight was going to discuss, how to, find involve some UUA congregations in our program, so we can, develop these relationships there.
Yeah, my particular society is in the middle of moving from the old building that we built in 1956 to a bank branch that we are renovating into a church. So things are a little bit hectic, but once we get settled, I think we could, and there are 3 UU societies in our county, Ridgewood, Palisades, and us, Central Unitarian. And sometimes we're good at doing collective things and sometimes we're not. But
yeah, but we have our state action networks, and we could help get that message out to them.
But without follow-up, without, we're not looking for much.
Yeah.
In New Jersey, we just like a few congregations. Now, you say you had Carol Allen, 10, 12, whatever. And of course, I forgot who was speaking before about their situation, but how can UUJEC assist us in outreaching to a few congregations in New Jersey who might, and as you heard from the presentation, that it isn't, our program isn't only the Labor Day weekend, but the weekend after Labor Day. Yeah. So that September 7th, Sunday. And I know that oftentimes UUA congregations may be highly, plan ahead, many weeks in advance. I know in Albuquerque, New Mexico, that's the case. So we're late.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody would pay attention to us before this anyway. So they may have to plan for next year.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
Part of the problem is Labor Day is so soon after the summer, and so many of us still pretend the world stops for the summer months, which makes me crazy because
right. But
homeless people.
September 7th. That's not Labor Day or Labor Day weekend. But I'm just asking, New Jersey, come on. There must be one congregation there that
well, it sounds like Carol's attending this UUJEC event right now, and she has the connections there. So, Carol, is that something that you could help Michael do in terms of hooking up with these different congregations?
I was thinking one way to actually get to every congregation would be through the Faith Action Council, the UU Faith Action Council of New Jersey, which has representatives from every congregation. In terms of this coming up September 1st, like at our church, I know we've
September 7th
and the 7th. They've the sermons are announced 2 or 3 months in advance, and the topics and everything.
But this isn't a sermon. But I mean, we're talking 5 minutes.
Oh.
5 minutes. Again, in my presentation, 5-minute presentation.
Yeah. That could be done. Is it feasible that sometime that would work as a thing that's like during the coffee hour, you take your coffee into a room and somebody makes a presentation? We do that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. We do that, twice a month at least, throughout the year with special topics coming up. That's and then everyone knows about it. So I think that's also important that it's announced and so forth. But as I just said, I think the the New Jersey Faith Action Council
Wow.
is what's set up for that, and it has staff and an office and contact with all churches, and is definitely on certainly on the wavelength of the principles of labor.
Yeah. Wow. See, that's an epiphany
Yeah.
moment for me in New Jersey.
Yeah, and in terms of scheduling, for a 5-minute presentation in a UU church, I mean, like, you have to have at least 5 minutes warning to the preacher. Put a piece of paper on the pulpit before he gets there, and as an announcement. I mean, fortunately, UUs are not, bureaucratic as about.
I've met a few who are.
But I think, but it's a lot of spontaneity
Yeah.
in among UUs.
And
But
actually, that's a happier way to go with
That is a happier
spontaneity.
way to go.
but I mean, a week's notice for a 5-minute presentation,
I
1 week
wonder
notice
how
is
set the
is-
agenda is for UU Faith Action in October, and maybe a 5-minute thing there would get to everybody to make the introduction. And then
Well, I'm all for
My
that.
phone is ringing.
I'm all for that. I agree with that. But I'm looking for something in New Jersey for September 7th. So, and that's in October. And that's outside of our labor in the pulpit, program. And but the future, I also am concerned about the future and how we develop relationships there.
Yeah, I could send an email to the attention of all the congregations, possibly through the Faith Action Council would be the way to do it. Then they would have their person in the each church would be responsible for discussing it with whoever would be the right person to ask. Now, of course, if if 10 or 12 did decide, though, does that present problem like for the resource people?
Well, that's why I say if we could focus on a few select congregations this time,
Yeah, okay.
that would be helpful.
Yeah.
I'd
I'm not
worry
looking for
about
10 or 12 or 20. Yeah, if we got that many UUA congregations, that'd be great.
I was going to say,
why hadn't we done that before, Terry?
yeah, and I would worry that it would be the other way. We'd be lucky to get one, but and I'm just,
And I'm also interested in Iowa. So,
yeah, well, and I'm in a position to put out an email to about 200 Iowa UUs, and I would like to see. I'd like to have something that will give them your contact information and offer them either labor in the pulpit or a 5-minute labor presentation.
yeah.
And
See, I don't think that's the way to do it.
you don't. Okay.
Because I think you need to be the gatekeeper, not
Right.
me.
Okay.
That and I'm not just doing this with you. I mean, there's others
No,
that
it's building the relationships,
right.
and I
Yeah.
get that. You can do an awful lot in community organizing. We do these one-on-ones. We have a half hour or so unstructured conversations to get to know people. And then when you call them up or send them an email, they actually respond to you. But if they don't know who you are, they're not going to answer the phone and they're not going to reply to emails. There's too many emails already. Do we have any more questions or suggestions or whatever?
I have another question, Michael. Does Labor in the Pulpit have any specific stand on peace?
the
I'm just curious. I mean, I'm not
yeah,
demanding,
well,
I'm just asking.
a piece that it seems we went through this before, Terry, when we
It's-
were looking for, what AFL-CIO positions were relating
Yeah.
to, and peace was one that, you know,
Oh, we have about 20 things that we agree on. I don't know if peace is on that list though, because you do have union people who work at
yeah,
armament
defense
factories and
industries, etc.
Boeing and
So,
So it's not on the list. What about climate change?
oh yeah, we're very. I I could get you where we stand on that. We certainly care about the climate. Now, we're a federation of 63 unions. You know, every UUA congregation has its has a diverse set of individuals with their own ideas and their own understandings about how the congregation should, function. The same is true with our AFL-CIO, and that there are some uh, unions that certainly, are not as invested in climate, in fighting climate change as others are. But our AFL-CIO, as an organization, is certainly doing, has a program to address this. We're up against an administration which is just, you know, uh, well, I don't have to tell. It's yeah, we're a federation. So every union takes a position and we try to come together to, you know, uh, to develop a position which reflects that. So
Do you guys work with other unions?
80, we have 63 union affiliates.
Okay.
Taha. The
So, but are you
AFL-CIO.
looking for more affiliates? I think is what Taha might be asking.
Or no, I mean, because I've heard of AFL, I don't know as much about. I've heard of like AFL-CIO,
So were you at
SCIU.
the beginning of the presentation?
No, I missed the first part.
AFL-CIO 101?
No,
Uh-oh.
I missed the first part. The presentation's available um in the emails, maybe.
Look, it's 9:05, and uh, uh, how long are we going?
Uh, I thought we could cut off at any time after 9 o'clock. So, would this be a good time to say goodbye and
Well,
see what
Well,
we
let's
can?
not leave. You guys, let's not leave Taha completely in the dark. I think what he's
Okay.
asking is if this presentation is going to be online, so
Yeah,
that
that's what I
he
meant.
can get the beginning of the
It
talk. And
it will
yes,
be.
it will be Taha.
No,
Thank you.
we're recording it right now. So
yeah, listen,
so
they're
we
recording it
will
right now, Taha.
we missed a little bit of the beginning, but
Not much. Not AFL-CIO 101.
well, no, I know. How to pronounce your name is probably the most important thing.
Oh, but and now I just want to ask again, excuse me, Terry, but what is our chain of contact now? Who's going to be in touch with him
Well,
and
Michael gave me
to your Zoom?
gave us
And
his contact information, but I'm happy to be the point of contact if you want me to be. I That'd be great. But I
okay,
might have
because
to go to Michael to figure it out because he'll know how to reach the labor councils.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes, yes. That's what I want. If that can be the case, that would be great.
Mhm.
Okay. So if it's
Now,
a matter,
do you, one more question? Do you think that people in the different different state labor federations are prepared for to be asked if they want to be like the person to come out and do the 5-minute speech?
Well, come up with a congregation.
yeah.
Okay,
You know,
okay, okay.
it's
Thank
but
you.
it is
Thanks.
saying that's what I would say.
Yeah,
I see.
thank you very much. I really appreciate you talking about this. I think it's really important, and I think it will develop with UUs and with others too.
Well, again, I was interested in when Terry called me. Uh, I was interested in doing this because you are who you are, and to have the opportunity to understand, where we might connect, would be great. You know, so
Michael, thank you very, very much for taking your evening and spending it with us. I hope we can make a lot of good things come from this. We did not have a big group in person, but I don't expect big groups in August, to be honest with you.
no,
Uh,
it's okay. You
but
got a
we
recording, so
we've got a recording, and some of the recordings get 5 times the number or 10
right.
times the number of views after the fact. So
Exactly. And Taha, you know, I'm hopeful that my presentation will answer your question.
I'll try to get that on our website yet tonight if I can. If not, check it tomorrow. Tomorrow it'll be there for sure. Thank you.
Oh, and thank you all for for for
Thank you.
for your presence and for your questions, and I appreciate you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Best of luck, and it's really nice to have Taha join us. That's the first time I've seen his name that I think.
Thank you. I met Terry at GA.
Oh, great.
That's how we connected. I don't know
Oh,
if you remember. Yeah.
oh, I remember you're from Shreveport?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
locations better than names. Okay. Oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
And actually we connected with the UU Democratic Socialists. Um his name is Gregory oh, is it Stewart? I've forgotten his last name. Any rate, it was a great connection and you were a lot of help. Thank you, Taha.
No problem.
And
Okay.
Taha, are you a member of a congregation in
Yeah.
Shreveport?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Also,
Wow.
it's very small. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I understand, but you're still there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strangely, we all, from my standpoint, I figured there wouldn't be many UUs in southern states because we don't really their philosophy and ours is kind of different. But the reality is that they need us for the liberals. They have very little liberal support. So our congregations in the South are much stronger than most people would think. I'm going to say goodnight so that we don't
Good
keep
night.
Thank
Michael
you.
from.
Nice seeing you all. Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad to see you, Taha.